Hello. Good day. Good Saturday. Well, for me, it's a good evening, actually. It is about 8 o'clock at night. Recording this one. I think this is number 8. Creeping up real close to number 10. I'm pretty excited for that. Um, as far as today's topic, as usual, I'm not sure. I'll probably get into it later through rambling. You know, it's kind of how I've noticed the videos have been progressing and whatnot. So I think I'd like to start by talking about my day. Today was really great. Really great. This morning, woke up about 7, usual time. Especially on the weekends, I'll usually sleep in, so I wake up about 7. The latest is like probably 9, but yeah, so woke up about 7 today, went on my morning walk after I woke up, enjoyed the sunrise, seeing how beautiful everything is, the nice, cool, cold air, you know, being able to wear my hoodie and enjoy it. It was nice. It was so nice. Then after that, got my, so it was today was my last active recovery / rest day. So all I did was, I ran 2 miles, well, a little over 2, maybe like 2 and a quarter. And then I did my 10 by 5, 5 pull-ups, 5 push-ups, squats, dips, did that 10 times. Nothing crazy, just get the blood flowing, let the body still rest and recover. It was real nice, felt real accomplished. Even light days, just moving the body, it just feels amazing. Very amazing. And it's a blessing to have a body and be able to use it. Very, very nice blessing. And then I went with my buddy. We went to a buffet. So today, as far as like nutrition, wasn't on point. I don't know what the calories is. I just know, hey, I ate some bullshit today, but hey, that's just today. One day is not gonna fuck up your entire months and months and months of progress. The only thing that'll mess that up is by beating yourself up and giving up and you're like, well, since I messed up today, I might as well just keep on eating. I can't tell you how many times in the past I've done that shit. Real bozo mentality, I do say. Real bozo mentality. Yeah, and then so we went to a buffet, real cool. I ate a shitload of fucking Chinese food. It was mainly a bunch of like all the different proteins and meats they had. All the shrimp. I mean, of course, most of it's battered and stuff, so you get a lot of carbs. I think I had like one little serving of like noodles, and then after that, I had a fucking fat plate of sushi and pork buns and there's like these. They look like pork buns, but they're smaller. I forget what they're called, but they're like really sweet. Had those. Then just perused around, went to a few shops, checked out the local Goodwill, see if there's any steals. Unfortunately not, but that's okay. And then I didn't let my cigar burn out. Gotta light this back up again. Uh, and then we went to a cigar bar, one of my favorites. Um, yeah, went there, had an old fashioned whiskey, a nice fat cigar. I had the what was the brand called? The Julius Caesar. I think it's my second time having that one. It was really nice. Um, and bought a couple of those. Bought myself a cutter because I've been wanting one for a while. Because normally on the weekends or every other weekend, I don't really smoke tobacco too often. Um, I normally smoke like my pipe, my old fashioned sailor's pipe. But I've been wanting my own cutter so I could start enjoying cigars again. So we did that. I got a few of those. Went to a retro video game store. It was Retro and Mart. Like they literally have every game from every generation. It was cool looking at like all the Sega Genesises and Ataris, and just like they literally have everything. We were in there for a good 30, 45 minutes just looking at stuff. And after that, went to the local Target and just got a few little knickknacks and stuff, and that was pretty much it for the day. Nothing crazy, walked around, sightseed a little bit, enjoyed being out and about, because it's crazy how I kind of live my life, because I live out in the middle of nowhere, like Courage the Cowardly Dog, and I don't go into town too often. I'm very much in solitude and reclusive. That's just how I like to live my life, and so it's pretty interesting to go about and see reality instead of seeing the false reality through a screen like we tend to do on the day-to-day. Oh, that's one thing I'm trying to work on too, is not using filler words like and just stuff like that. It's just progress, working on being able to speak fluently and coherently. It's something I know I just want to improve at, henceforth why this channel was created. Oops, move the bar. Sitting next to my weight rack, or not really weight rack. I mean, it's a weight rack, but it's also it's just what I use the pull-up bar on. It's like a full thing you can do a whole bunch with, but yeah, anyway, so got home, chilled out, played some Lords of the Fallen with my bro. It was pretty good. And then he went off to work because he works the night shift, so it's just your boy out in the middle of nowhere by himself. So I decided tonight, I had lit a fire at the fire pit for the first time and just enjoyed it by myself. Had a couple of drinks we had that were left over that we had bought a few weeks ago. The Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg variety pack of gin and juice. Had a couple of those, pretty nice. And then here in a little while, after I finish this cigar here, which this one is called Fasa, Fasa. It's a good flavor, nothing crazy. Enjoyed the fire and just sat there, no phone, no nothing. Just built a fire, lit my cigar, and just enjoyed it. It was quiet. A thought maybe popped in my head here and there, but it was mainly no thoughts, just being in the present. And I think that's very important to do, is to be present. I think that's a lot of excuse me. I think that's a lot of problems I hear from people. Mainly, people mainly you hear on the internet and shit, because I don't know. I mean, yeah, because I had these discussions with people in real life too, and it seems like it's all the same shit everywhere. But yeah, you just got to find a way out of that, man, and just live. Like, I'm not gonna lie, coming out here, it's fucking pitch black, overcast. You can't see shit if you don't have a light or nothing. But hey, I did it anyway, despite my brain going, oh, what if there's bears, mountain lions? Because I mean, there is all that shit out here. Normally, you catch them early in the morning walking around, but for the most part, I mean, like one time I walked up on a bear. I was on this part of the land that's kind of like almost, it's called a berm, so it's up high and below is water. You can see all the gators and stuff in the water here and there. And fucking the only bad thing I think about it is there's fucking, since there's water near there, you see a shitload of fucking moccasins running across the grass sometimes, and you just got to be careful of that shit. But other than that, one time, yeah, I ran up on a bear, and fucking black bears, because I'm here in Florida, so But for the most part, I mean, they're not gonna fuck with you. I mean, it startled me, but I guess I startled it because it fucking. I remember that day it took off, and literally it was like something out of Jurassic Park. Like, it fucking was hitting trees as it was going out. I could see the tops of the trees moving because it was just running through the brush, fucking crazy. And here I was like, oh my god, what the hell? Like I was a little intimidated, but I was like, damn. Think about that bear. That bear literally took off because it saw me. Like, it got scared. So, sometimes you forget as a human being, you're an apex predator too, and other animals can see you as that. So, we still play a part in the food chain. We're another apex, and it's a blessing to be born the apex of apex predators. Mainly because of our brains and how we're able to function at a higher rate and outthink everything. But at the cost of that, fucking, we put ourselves in our own cages and live in these structured cages, that we're all born into. And I think everyone's just trying to find their own way out. Or for the most part, they think about their own way out, and sometimes they think the way out is the one that you're born into. Like, if you're born in America, it's, oh, the way out is you work real hard, 9 to 5, at a job you really don't like, but you save up, and then you retire at a really old age. And even still, in this world, fucking, who the fuck is retiring at an old age? Most old people are having to go back into work, like, part-time and shit. Fucking nobody's gonna retire. And I think if you start doing things you enjoy and love, and it ends up providing you, income, and it's something you wouldn't mind doing your entire life, then really it's not work. I mean, there's work to be put in, but if you enjoy it, I think that's the dream, having your own fulfillment. I think that's very important. Very important. But no, this Saturday was real chill, and just as usual enjoyed my own company and presence, because at the end of the day, that's all you got. I mean, that's all you really came in this world with, unless you're like a conjoined twin. But you come in this world by yourself, and you're gonna leave it by yourself, so you might as well become your best friend, your best ally, and just go do stuff. You don't have to depend on nobody to go do nothing. Hell, pretty soon, once I get the ability to, I'm gonna start going on little trips by myself. But one of the first things I did when I was about 19 to 20, fucking, I was scared to death doing it, but I went camping by myself for 2 nights back when I was living in Texas. And looking back at it, I would have enjoyed it more with the mindset I have now. But, in that mindset, I was still grinding away, the hustle and bustle, and living for the sake of that almighty dollar that doesn't really doesn't really matter. It matters in today's context for, wanting to do certain things and how our trade systems work, and just all that. But there's so much to there's so much more to gain by improving yourself and getting to know yourself, loving yourself, being your best ally, just being your everything. Being able to be one with yourself, as some would say. That's very important. Yeah. But other than that, I don't really have too much else to say. I'm just gonna enjoy this nice, I would say quiet night, but if you think about it, night's rarely quiet. You always got crickets and frogs and gators and shit croaking all at night. Except for those rare nights out in the country where it's like dead fucking silent. Now those are real creepy ass nights. Like nothing. Like maybe you can hear the crickets now. You know. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna, keep enjoying this evening. And I'll probably have more evenings like this now. Cause I get bored sitting at the house just fucking on a computer on games. As soon as it gets dark, I'll try to find ways to enjoy the night without letting my brain trip so much. This is the first step into letting the brain know, like, hey man, look, nothing bad's happening. It's okay. Sometimes you gotta do something a little uncomfortable one time to let your, retarded ass brain know, like, hey, it's all right. Trust me. Everything you do is all in the action you take, no matter how small. No matter how small. Just take the action a little bit at a time, Nudge yourself a little bit. It doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to go cold turkey into nothing. Just take little actions and be consistent. That's the key there. Consistent action. Because the dumbest motherfuckers on earth get shit done because they just take action despite anything. I mean, you see it all the time with certain influencers. They're dumb as fucking rocks and the most ignorant people, yet they get more out of this life. More so in the materialistic shit that you see, but there's a whole bunch of that. But you just gotta take action, because being intelligent and being an overthinker just keeps you in the same spot. Be a little retarded here. Just take a little action. Take action and have good deep thoughts, but don't let those thoughts paralyze you and keep you from overthinking a situation. Just do it, man. Do it, even if the outcome makes a cringe memory later. Just do it. Do it. Make those experiences, because a little thought I had at the fire is everything ends eventually. This fire I started was big and bright and real nice, and then eventually those flames died out. You don't. You probably heard. Oh, you're gonna die one day. You probably hear it, you understand it, you kind of register it, but do you really though? Because even when you hear it, are you still stuck in the same spot? Anyways, the key is just consistent action. Little bits at a time. Create your own safe environment to let yourself perform in and get those reps in and do what you want to do, and do it continuously. Consistency will get you any and everything. And I had to learn that through actually working out and taking care of myself with nutrition and stuff, and seeing how by doing this through weeks and months and coming up, it'll probably be a year, a few more months from now, but just, seeing it firsthand with the transformation of my physical fitness and all that shit. Like this, at the start of this year, 2025, I couldn't do not a single damn pull-up. My big ass was thinking that's impossible. To now, I can do, wide grip, not chin up, wide grip, fucking at least 15 to 16 pull-ups straight before I start getting tired. I would have never thought, oh shit, that's crazy. Now my goal is to get, a muscle up. Whereas before I was like, damn, I was working so hard to just do one pull-up. I'd work real hard at it. And something like that I saw through just continuous effort. Despite the fact that I had the thoughts of, man, this isn't working. I'm just getting the same results. This, because I learned later to look at how strength develops and stuff, and the different types of forms, and just all kinds of shit by being continuous. Not really looking up shit, just from experience. Like time under tension, short pauses, just shit that came naturally that I ended up finding out were things later and stuff. But anyways, I was able to prove to myself, just with that instance, like, man, you can get stronger. And then I'm visually seeing it in the mirror daily, and just like that. And not just the mirror, just in my performance overall. Just I'm able to run longer, do more exercises, move every day. Soreness gets knocked out quick. Recovery times are faster. Just improving and improving the mindset too. But I tell you what, you work on your body, your mind's gonna have to follow suit. I shit you not, it will. And then you'll want to train and develop that, on its own time as well. But the body and the mind go hand in hand. Working out really showed me that. And another test I'm doing is with this channel here. I said, hey, my big goal is to upload every day, get 365 videos, and do it for a year straight. My bare minimum goal is, hey, I want to be able to do it 30 days straight for a month, right? But knowing myself and the challenges I've taken up, because some of the challenges I've taken up were doing like prolonged fast in this, doing first, well, I was already kind of doing one meal a day, so 24-hour fast. Then I'd start doing 48-hour fast. I was like, okay, in those times you really gotta be able to communicate with yourself and reframe how you look at stuff, and change how you view things, and just overcoming these little challenges I give myself. I prove to myself and give myself evidence all the time that I can make anything I think happen by just giving consistent effort. Because before, I do all kinds of shit. I used to stream. I used to make YouTube videos on a gaming channel. I tried before I got to really be authentic and figure myself out. I was copying more so like YouTubers I like for example Corey X Kenshin. Fucking, I love Corey X Kenshin. I mean, I don't really watch the videos as much anymore, but I remember I used to watch them all the time, and that's kind of what the style I used to try to make my videos. And then, I fell off because that's just not me, and then fell off streaming. You don't get no results. You do it a couple times, you're like, oh, whatever. But with this channel, I just want to keep going, and if I get comments, subscribers, and likes, and whatever, all that stuff that comes with it, that's just going to be icing on the cake. The actual meat and potatoes, the cake itself, is, me proving to myself I can do this consistently and not be intimidated to put myself out there in a way, and this is going to be a stepping stone to what I want later, because after this, this test, and then I'm going to keep this channel, obviously, but, I'm going to do more challenges. Like, I'm going to get back into streaming. I'll actually start doing a project, thorough YouTube videos on the side for, like maybe game reviews and just hot takes and just, creative edits, just whatever. I'm not going to lock myself into one fucking box. I'm beyond that. But this is another challenge for myself that I know I can go the distance, because that's important. You got to be like Rocky. You got to go the distance. You might not beat the champ, but just go the distance. You create your own goals, your own wins. That's what it's about. So, moral of the story, be consistent. No matter what you do it tired, do it half-assed, do it sore, do it, whatever it is you want to do it when you're not in the mood, do it. Because even days like doing this, I'm just like, I'm not really in the mood. Not so much that it's hard. It's just like, it's something new and, whatever. But I've set the goal in mind. I've stepped up to the challenge, and I know I will commit to it, because that's what I will do. I've already proven that to myself in so many other instances. This is just another one. And then I'll have another one, another one, another one, another one, another one. Because shit, once you start doing that, you'll always be seeking new challenges and all kinds of stuff for yourself. That's just how it goes, man. And even if I were to fail, I'm not gonna beat myself up. I had to learn that the hard way. You can't beat yourself up over shit. Can't beat yourself up. You got to be your best friend, your motivator, your cheerleader. You get everything. So be consistent, work on yourself, do better. You can do better. Rise, fall, and rise again. Just keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. Don't give up on yourself. Your mama can give up on you. Your daddy can give up on you. Your family can give up on you. People you thought were friends can give up on you. The world can give up on you. Don't give up on you. Don't join the rest of the crowds of life in the universe. I think about this quote. I'm not a religious person. I don't follow any religion, And no, I'm not like an atheist, like where I'm a straight denier of it, I think they're all cool, but I'm not that's not my spiel, but I always think about I guess a quote. I don't know if it's Christianity or the Bible or whatever, but when they say God made us in his image, I take that as, hell, we have free will and we have the ability to create our own realities through ourselves on a day-to-day basis. The Creator gave us the ability to create ourselves. Not create create other people. You have babies, whatever, but you create your own reality. And I've been living proof of that to myself. And you can do it too. You just got to be consistent. Be able to be cringe. Be able to, hold on. Talking so much, I keep letting my cigar go out. I mean, it doesn't go out that fast, but shit. Anyways, be consistent. You're the creator of your reality. You truly are. Try not to get a big head or ego or whatever, Those will be topics of another days, because everything that you could view as negative about a human being, like ego, for example, is really a tool. Because the ego, no matter what you do, no matter how many times you fight it, something like that won't go away, and that's a tool. But that's a topic for another day, another discussion. But anyways, be consistent. Just do it. Just show up. That's the key. Just show up. Even if you can't give 100%, just show up. Go through the motion. because doing a little bit of something is infinitely greater than a whole lot of nothing. Infinitely greater. Infinitely. The guy who shows up to the gym, sits on his phone, and then bullshits the weights, just going through the motion, not really pushing, is already leagues and bounds ahead of the person who said, I'm just going to sit on the couch today. I'm not going. Dead fucking ass. I mean, the guy who sits there on his phone is not going to get as much out of it, but they're infinitely getting more out of that than the guy or girl who's, I'm not even going to show up. Show up for yourself. Start small. Build your reality. Build your internal kingdom. Build yourself. Be continuous. Be good to yourself, and be grateful every day. Find something to be grateful about. Until then, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Have a good day. And be good. Peace.